Hey guys, and welcome back to Hobo with Wood. This is going to be part 2 on a series where I'm making a pet box for holding its a feeder, the food bowls, and a water bowl for a pet, cat, dog, doesn't matter. So this is part 2. We are already pretty heavy into the design aspect of building the actual box. Let me get in here and show you what we've done, and just a short recap. Let's see here, minimize that. There we go. All right. So this has been my first case using Maker Case. I have previously used this boxes, festy.info boxes.py. It's a little more complicated and you can do a whole lot more stuff with it. But if you want a simple box, basic box design, because you're going to do your own thing anyway, you just need the structural part of the box built. This is a good site. I like this a lot. So you want to go back to part 1 of this series to look for how we got to where we're at with this project so far. Now we're in LightBurn. Essentially, I created 2 boxes using Maker Case. It was pet stand, and can I do 2 and import at the same time? We're going to find out. Open. Yeah, we can. Hey, I just learned something new. I can import 2 projects at the same time. All right, so back out of here so you can see, separate these. All right, so this was the first box, and this was the second box that was created in Maker Case. I used these 6 pieces and these 6 pieces and edited those down to create this one, I think. No, we don't need to save that. There we go. I'm not sure that's it either. We'll open this one. That's the right one. Okay. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 pieces are part of one of the boxes. I got rid of the 6 piece because I didn't need it. I actually integrated the 6 piece into this piece in order to create. These will assemble to make a partial cube, which will snap to this piece. And then these 2 side pieces here are 2 of the 4 sides that were created in Maker Case that are going to be edited to create the legs that will snap into the bottom of this piece from underneath. So now you've been caught up. All right, so I need to work on this piece here a little. Because I've got a lot more holes in here than I need, and I want to make the shape a little more user-friendly. All right, first off, I'm only going to need the slots, 1, 2, 3, 4 slots on either side here. And these 4 slots have been merged with these to make an L shape, which I don't need in this case. So I'm going to have to modify this and delete those. So actually with that highlighted, let's break everything apart. And we're going to hold down our shift button and select each of these pieces. And hit delete. All right, that got rid of those. Now, I need to clean up these pieces. Now, what I'm going to do to keep everything where I need it to be, I'm going to try something. I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try this. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lock this to my tool bed so that the arrange, lock selected shapes. That way I don't inadvertently mess up this pattern, because it's crucial these slots stay where they're at in order for everything to line up. Now with that locked, selecting just that one, I'm going to duplicate it and then move it off the tool bed so I'm not messing with my original design at all. Now I'm going to zoom into that piece Zoom out a little so we can see it better. And there's probably a better way to do this, but this is how I do it. I just create another rectangle that I'm going to use for a cut piece. And I need to make sure I get those lined up as precisely as possible. So I'm going to zoom into that. Now I've got my control arrow set to a very minute movement. So I should be control and arrow left until I'm looking for that series of Vegas lights, as I call them, to disappear. You see how you no longer see them? Back it off a little, now you can see. So that's telling me once they disappear, that's too far. That's lined up as precise as I can get it. Now, if I select the main shape again, zoom out to that, I need to cut that. And if I go, actually, you know what? I'm going to encompass all of it like so. And now with that selected, hold my shift, hold that, use my assistant. If you've been watching my videos, you know this is my best friend. Don't want that, don't want that, don't want that. That's what I want. Okay, done. All right, now I can zoom out, zoom out. Now when I moved this a minute ago, I just moved it straight up. So I can bring her straight back down with my arrow keys, and that put it right back where it was at. Now, if I select that, we can see that nice. Remember, I've got it locked in place. So with it selected, arrange, unlock shapes and patterns. Now I'm going to click on that one, the long part, and delete. Nope. Why is it still showing to be locked in place? All right. Arrange, unlock, select, and delete. It's gone. All right. Now, again, this is precautionary because I'm a fat fingerer. I'm going to lock everything back in place, arrange, lock selected shapes. That's locked to the tool bed. Select that shape, Control D, moving it down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's out of the way. I'm going to zoom into that one, out a little where I can see what I'm doing. Another pattern for my cut shape. Move it in as close as I can with my mouse. And now we're going to zoom in. And the tighter you zoom in, the easier it is to see what's going on here. Control arrow left. And that looks good. Zoom out. That's already highlighted, so hit my shift and that button. Use my best friend. Subtract B from A. Okay. Yep. Okay. Zoom out. Should come back up 12 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Nope, I counted wrong. 13. All right, now selecting the piece that I just deleted, we're going to back arrangement, unlock, and delete. So now all I have there are the 4 slots for that leg to tie in. Now, I'm doing that to show you how I edit, but there's another way you can do this. I've already created the slots that I need there. So if I select, I'm on my select tool, select the first one, I'm going to zoom in so I don't accidentally move, bump. Select the outside of that, let's zoom in. All right, you can see that the outer piece is still locked in place, but I can select one, that one's locked in place. my shift, that's locked in place. Maybe it ain't. All right, now Control D. I just duplicated those two pieces. Now that I've got them duplicated, I can arrow them over and put them in place for these and delete the others without having to go through the whole ordeal of editing. But I've got to get them precisely in place. I didn't have the luxury of just tabbing straight up or straight down. So if I zoom into these pieces, use my pan tool and move this thing around, we're going to zoom in really close, because you can, when you can see the Vegas lines, you're not where you need to be. So getting it in closer, my select tool and Control right. That's too far. You're starting to see it come out. Looks like there's, I'm going to go in even tighter. That looks good. That looks good. All right. Now, if I select that, it's locked in place. You shouldn't be able to delete that with that locked in place, but let me try. No, that's the reason you lock it. All right, so we got to go to Arrange, Unlock Selected Shapes, and Delete. And go down to the bottom. Select Tool, select the shape, unlock selected shapes, and delete. All right, now let's select that whole thing, unlock it all, group it all, and now that piece, the slots are now what I need them to be, but I'm not through with the overall design of this piece. So let's come back here and zoom into that piece. Now, if you watched one of my videos I produced in the middle of doing this project, you'll understand what I'm getting ready to do. If not, then you need to go back and watch the video on how to use radius in LightBurn. All right, that's selected. And gotta unlock it. Tools, arrange, unlock. Actually, I gotta select it, unlock it. What's the deal, Pickle? It's not locked. Oh, I've got to ungroup it. All right, ungroup everything. Select the outer shape only, radius. And I'm going to do more. Maybe not quite that much. I like that. All right. And group it all back together. Now I'm done with that, with the design work. Now I need to change the shape of my legs. All right. These 4 tabs across the top are going to snap into here. I don't need the tabs on either of the 3 sides. So let's go to that. And I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees. And I'm going to do the same thing essentially that I've done with the other earlier. Just create a box that's large enough to encompass all of it. And and control arrow to get her in there. That's looking good, but we're going to zoom in and double check it. All right, zoom, zoom, zoom. Actually, go select tool and zoom into that one, and then see, I went too far. That's usually me. I always go just a little too far. And then the police are called, and then the sirens are... I'm kidding. No, I'm not. Yeah, I am. All right, so now zoom back out. That's matched up pretty good. It's already highlighted, so select the next one, open up my best friend, and take a look. Nope, nope, nope. Yep. And I got to do the same thing on the other two sides. Control arrow to get those minute movements. Now, if you're not aware of how you control those movements, of course you use your mouse to click and drag it around and change the size and the shape, but also if you go into your settings screen, here under snapping and shape move increments, control and arrow, here's where you set those adjustments. And I've got mine to 0.0004, which you can go to 0.0001, but man, I don't think since the laser cuts on a 0.08, this is more than enough. But you want to be really precise with it to make sure you don't have any open cut paths whenever you do a movement and use this as a cut tool like this. So that's how you adjust those increments. And zoom on in, pan down. So I've gone a little too far. Control arrow. That's too far. That. See if you can keep going in. So that's a little high. That's a little low. And so here's an instance where, I mean, you want to get really, really OCD. You 0.123 on 1 and tell it OK. And now let's get that again. And in fact, I'm going to bring this, I'm just zooming in. And now I'm going to pan down, bring it down to where you can see. See, it's a little below the line. If I keep going in, Control Z. That's as small as of a movement as you can get with the increments there. Now I've gone above the line so that when I cut and weld those together, that should work just fine. All right, now, so if I go out, it's already selected. Select the other one. Hello, best friend. Should be B. Yep. All right. And one more time. Select tool. You can hold your control when you move your mouse, and it also moves it a little slower too. But you can't get in there as precise with the mouse, not with this touchpad that I'm using. So we zoom in. Pan down. and we're going to bring it over, Control plus the left arrow, get her as lined up as close as possible, and if not, just slightly inside, and that looks good. And zoom back out, select the second one with the shift key. Now, this Boolean assistant, and I've mentioned this in the other ones, when you open this up, it gives you all these different options, and you can watch what's happening, and this is why I like it. You go out where you can see the whole. All right, there's both shapes. Go to Arrange, Tools, Assistant. Union A and B, it marries them together just completely. You've got the outline of both shapes. Intersection keeps only what's inside of that piece you put up there. It's just keeping the tabs and part of the line. There's you're subtracting those tabs from the square you had, so you're using that leg as a template to cut out into your square there. And then there's what I'm looking at now. So and it's subtracting A and B, or B from A, and A from B and B from A is the order in which that you select them. Which object do you select first is A, the second one is B, and in this case I subtracted B from A because the bigger piece was the second piece. Oh, sorry, I subtracted A from B because you understand, my brain sometimes switches off. All right. For those who aren't aware, I have had a stroke, and it just clicks sometimes. It just turns off. All right. So got that done. That's what I want. Say OK. And if we scroll out, zoom out, I need to do all that to this piece over here, or as the lazy man thinks, delete that, highlight that, Control D, move her over here. Now I've got two of them. All right. Those are ready to fit together, but I'm not done with designing, and that's what this video is a lot about. I'm going to see if I can see where we're at with time on this. I'm going to hit the pause button on my camera. Don't know how this is work. A brand new software I'm using here for doing these recordings. So I'm going to hit pause. You may or may not notice an interruption. All right, so we're a little over 22 minutes. I'm going to call this video done for now, and then do part 3. Part 3, I'm going to actually add design elements to these pieces using artwork that I have in my art library. And if you're not familiar with art libraries, this is a invaluable tool. I've got my pet feeder set up in my library where I've already started bringing in different clip arts and designs, and I've got a dog bone here and dog prints. So if I select this piece of artwork, add it to my graphic, and bring it over here, I've got my snap set up, so that's already snapped to center. If you noticed when I'm bringing it in here, watch that bone just jump right there. It just snapped to center. All right, I'm going to set that up as a design and cutout for that. It's going to serve a purpose, several purposes. It's going to add character to the part. It's going to serve as handles for carrying it and moving it around. And also, that dog bone shape is waste in this project, but now I've got a tag that I can sell, ID, engrave for someone's personal use. Put a little easel on it and put their dog's name on it. So, waste not, want not. All right, so you're going to want to tune in for part 3 for the design aspects of the pet feeder. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I appreciate you watching up to this point. All of my subscribers are greatly appreciated. I've only been doing this for 40 days. 40 days plus. I started just before Father's Day 2022. So a lot of things that I'm showing you, these are things that I figured out on my own. I've not had any training, and there may be better ways to accomplish it, but these are the things that I figured out as I go. So if you found this helpful, please like and subscribe, hit that notifications bell, become a regular viewer of Hobo with Wood, share with any friends you have in the community, and thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video.